2 years ago, we were introduced to the character of Mr. E. Despite knowing little about him, all we knew was that he was a Nindroid general of the Sons of Garmadon. His mysterious persona and the ambiguity of his origins won many fans over. A lot of people were theorizing about who he could be and how he would play a major role in Hunted, but in the beginning of the season, he was tasked at capturing Lloyd, but was unable to do so when the Elemental Masters intervened. As a consequence of his failure, Garmadon literally tore him apart as a demonstration of how failure would not be tolerated. And that was the last time we ever saw him on screen. His exit from the series surprised everyone, myself included. I was like, y'all are some savages, not even 5 episodes in and you already wrote him off. But today we are going to imagine an alternate universe where the outcome to that event was different. So, what if Mr. E wasn't destroyed by Garmadon and didn't experience the fatal consequences of his failure? What if he survived a little bit longer? And what would have been the effects that transpired throughout the rest of Hunted? Well, obviously, Garmadon would probably choke him in the air long enough for him to experience high levels of pain, or whatever Nindroids call pain, as a taste of what would happen should he fail again. He would either resume his pursuit for Lloyd and the rest of the Elemental Masters, or stay with either Harumi or Ultraviolet and Kilo. Then, the rest of the story continues. Lloyd sends his "The Resistance speech, and the Sons of Garmadon track them down to their hideout. Lloyd escapes with Nia, Dareth, and Skylar, while the Chaos allows Mistake to make her own escape. Harumi, now regaining Garmadon's confidence in her, somehow, orders the Sons of Garmadon to continue their search for Lloyd. Since the generals are in Borg Tower, Lloyd and his amigos capture Harumi, and Mistake impersonates her to complete their plan to control the Colossus. Since Mr. E would most likely be present for the scuffle, Mistake and Skylar would be held back a little while longer, but Mistake would inevitably sacrifice herself to allow Skylar to emulate Garmadon and escape. Fast forward to the Colossus Control showdown, Mr. E, Kilo, and Ultraviolet use their respective Oni masks to attempt to fight the stone monster, and they get wrecked. Then, the music fades to strings as the power of Lloyd's spontaneous erections falls off a building. Mr. E's location afterwards varies. Kilo was already defeated, so maybe he was with him. Or he could have been shot across the Pacific Ocean, just like Ultraviolet. Either way, with the Maroon Ninja returning from the realm of Oni and Dragon, it would only be a matter of time until he would also get got by the dragons. Perhaps a rematch between himself and Zane would also happen. And then the big reveal that the creators originally wrote comes into play. It could be one of those "I am your father" scenes, or "Who the hell's Bucky?" Their exchange in words could run along the lines of,
You look like me. You're a Nindroid. A discarded replica. An experiment left to rust. Oh yes, you are indeed rusty. What? The titanium life is where it is at. No, it's copper!
But Zane either defeats his evil brother in the end, or is forced to make an emotional decision by killing him. Or, if the reveal somehow opens a window of opportunity to keep Mr. Echo Zane around longer, he pulls a Pythor maneuver, goes into hiding, and gets placed in the line of other villains whose returns are put on indefinite hold. Thus, the rest of the season plays out the way it should. The Resistance members liberate the prison, the ninja perform the AT-AT Walker takedown on the Colossus more than once, Garmadon goes ham on Lloyd and Wu but still loses, and the Sons of Garmadon are sent to Cryptarium Prison. In conclusion, Mr. E's survival would lead to his continuous search for hunting down the Resistance, but eventually would either be arrested with the rest of the Sons of Garmadon and would have spent the rest of the series in prison, or buried 6 feet underground after his rematch with the Silver Sunburn, or going into hiding, waiting for the writers to bring him back on screen. Sure, there would have been a few scenario switch-ups and new events, such as his potential identity reveal to Zane in the audience, but beat for beat, Season 9 would have stayed relatively the same. It would have still ended with Lloyd defeating his father, the ninja would have returned from the realm of Oni and Dragon, and Seasons 10 to 13 would have still been the same. Mr. E is one of those characters whose uniqueness is intended to mislead the audience while his origins and identity still remain unknown to us, unless we get an in-universe explanation somehow in the future. Sure, you can argue that he's Echo Zane, but I must remind you that that was only a proposed concept that never made it into the actual story because of irrelevancy. The creators themselves have stated that he and Echo Zane are two separate characters in canon. Besides, we already have the whole My Brother's a Villain Now arc. His story began in the Sons of Garmadon and ended in Hunted, regardless of whether you thought it was abrupt or anticlimactic, so no real impact to the series if Mr. E survived or not. He doesn't have a tremendous influence on Ninjaga's future like the Overlord or Nauticon, so Season 9 would have still happened with or without him, but hey, not everyone can be a winner. Anyways, those were all the events that I could think of if he wasn't executed by Garmadon and lasted at least until the end. How do you think it would play out? Would you have preferred if he was around a little longer, or are you satisfied that he bit the dust early in Season 9? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Alright, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that like and subscribe button to the channel to watch more videos. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at King Night Fury. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!